Key West lay 180 miles to the southeast. I hoped to average at least 3 knots. That would put me in Key West in 60 hours. If I averaged 5 knots, it would only take 36 hours. Of course, that's sailing time. I would have to sleep sometime, and I have to heave to and anchor for that. I decided that I should plan for a week of sailing to reach Key West. Holding on to a tiller all day can be taxing. I experimented with some lines until I found the right way to tie it off and stay generally on course. At mid-morning, a pod of dolphins came alongside and provided Eagle Ray an escort. Eagle Ray was making 3 knots. It would be fun to heave to and go swimming with them. However, at 3 knots, I couldn't afford to waste any time. In my mind, I conducted a risk versus fun analysis and decided to just go for it. I adjusted the lines holding the tiller in place until I had assumed a broad reach. It slowed the boat, but it reduced the chance of an accidental jibe. I tied one end of a 20-foot line to the aft lifeline using a simple bowline knot. I took the other end in my left hand, and using the thumb and middle finger of my right hand, I formed a double loop that I slipped around my left wrist. I think that this is called a timber hitch, but I'm probably wrong about that. Considering what I do for a living, I should know more about knots. I fed the rope overboard, hand over hand, and then slid over the transom. I let myself sink, but held on to the line with both hands. After a moment, the line became taut, and I was pulled back toward the surface. Because the boat's speed was slow, I was towed 5 feet under the water. The dolphins came to say hello. Dolphins are curious, and they seem to enjoy interacting with people, but I doubt that they'd ever seen one trolled behind a boat before. They swam alongside me, close enough to touch. Some of them nudged me. They rocketed ahead of me and then circled back and repeated the maneuver. They raced up through the water column, breached the surface, and then rocketed back down into the big blue. The matriarch of the group had at one time injured her left eyelid. A flap of scarred skin flapped up and down over her eye as she swam. It made the dolphin appear to be winking. After 2 of the most joyful hours of my life, the pod stopped playing. They still swam alongside me, but it seemed as though they were inspecting a curiosity. The matriarch seemed to suddenly realize that a human isn't supposed to be able to hold his breath longer than a dolphin can. In an instant, they were gone.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.